Yo guys, welcome back to another League Racing video on the channel. Today we are here with XRS Division 2, round number 3 at Japan, and this is my debut in this league. It is a league that my UFRL competitor, The Bird, is in. He recommended it to me. I have some Saturdays free, not all of them, so I decided, why not, let's give it a try. It looks very competitive, and after this I definitely know it is very competitive. The gaps are so close in this league. Everyone is very similar on pace, and we're here at Japan. This is not one of my best tracks. Coming into this, I wasn't very confident, but in this race, you will actually see, in this quali in the race, you will see that this is actually one of my better tracks, I believe anyway. And we're on our first quali lap. We've been making some mistakes. It's not been the cleanest first sector. It's not fastest, it's only green. But either way, through turns 9 and up to the hairpin, this is going to be a very heavy braking zone. We're going to try and brake as late as we can. We chuck it in, we lock the fronts a little bit, but that's not the end of the world. It's not a horrible corner. Burn some battery now, and we're going to run up to spoon. Casper goes fastest with a 27.6, and that is actually a decent lap. It's not amazing, but it is very decent. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, I'm not going to get that, because I was not very confident. Going into this, I wasn't setting great laps, I didn't think anyway. But either way, we're here, we're reserving, we get set a fastest middle sector. Doesn't say it in the top right, but in the mini-map on the bottom left, we have set it quick. In the hairpin, we lock the fronts, we miss the apex a little bit, and it's not an amazing lap. I don't think it's going to be doing too much. Up to the line, it's a 27.4, and it actually does put us on pole. Why not? And
yeah, sure, that's pole.
I did not think that would be pole at all. That lap was not good, and I feel like I have another 2 tenths in it. And you can see on our last lap, we didn't go out for a lap in the middle, and we're just going to instantly go into the next one. And I still haven't been improving as much as I know I can on this lap. We actually hit the apex now, but we run a little deep. We have a little moment, and we don't gain too much. I'm saying it's not going to be enough, but we go pole.
Come on.
And we managed to snatch it away at the last minute.
I did not think that was enough.
I'm very happy with that. You can see how close the gaps are.
Let's go.
There's around 2 tenths from P1 to P10. Absolutely insane stuff. And we managed to take pole just about by around 200ths of a second. I think that's 100th. I do not know yet. Yeah, 200ths. That's 200ths. Either way, very happy with the pole, considering I was reserving for this race and no one wanted to take me. I wasn't actually sure if I was going to be able to race tonight. I got passed up by 6 or 7 teams, and I hope that lap has instantly made them realise, oh shit, I've made a bit of a mistake. We should have took this guy, but it's 5 red lights, and away we go at Japan. We get a great start, and instantly OJ doesn't get a good start, so we're instantly clear, and we can straight away, we don't even have to take any alternate lines, we just instantly start pushing. Because the cars behind us are going side by side, and through the S's you do not want to be going side by side. You will lose so much time, so we're instantly going to be on the push. They aren't side by side anymore. They are in P3 and 4 as Casper moves up to P3. But amazing start. Couldn't have asked it to go much better, honestly. And you can see the gaps from P2 to P3, the 2 Haas cars. It's around 9 tenths, so if we keep pushing and OJ pushes with us, we might actually be able to break away, and it'll be a one-on-one fight for the win, which I wouldn't complain about. It'd be a little bit boring, but I wouldn't complain about a guaranteed P2. Right now the gap's still sitting around 9 tenths. It's just on the cusp. There isn't any DRS until the first straight, or until the start-finish straight, I should say, and it's not a big straight. It's only 1 DRS, so if we lose it, it doesn't, or if we break DRS, I should say, which we're looking like we're doing. Casper's moved back up to P3. Quartz is falling down. He's made a bit of a mistake. But Casper around 1.1 seconds behind. But not having the DRS won't be the be-all and end-all. It'll suck for the first straight, obviously. You'll still lose that time. But it's not like Australia where there's 4 braking zones. Speaking of Australia, this was actually the lap. This was the round before in round 2. I really wanted to race that, but I actually couldn't because on Saturdays I'm not always free, which is why I'm only a reserve in this league. As much as I would like to race full time, I just can't commit to a team because I often do things on Saturday. And this Saturday, which is tomorrow as of recording this, and a week on from this race, I will not be there because I'm going out with some friends. But lap 3 we got overtaken by OJ, and on the next lap we're going to try and get him back. Just right behind him, not even going to use much battery at all, we're just going to use a little bit to give us the momentum to get past. Casper's coming as well, we don't want him to get past, so we burn some more ourselves just to defend from him. We went incredibly deep into turn 1. That happens a couple of times once I've made an overtake here in this race. Not too sure why, but I do manage to get it down for when it matters a bit later on in the race. It is still early days, the tyres are just about starting to fall off a little bit. It's not nearly enough to warrant boxing on lap 5. It's just ever so slightly. I've not done any race practice, I've only done quali, and the tyres at the start of the race do somewhat feel like the soft tyres in qualifying because they've got no wear, they are still fresh. But get overtaken by Casper on lap 6, which is completely fine. We're not really trying to lose too much time here. And we actually have broken away, I did forget to mention that. We have broken away as a top 3, we've broken away around 4 seconds between P3 and 4. We're going to go for a move on Casper through 130R, we're going to make the move, and then we're just going to put it into none, charge some battery, and hopefully he will overtake us before the S's, because I don't want to be in front in the S's, because that one time I was in front, you saw I went deep at turn 1. I just like following because I'll be able to save my tyres more. It probably is, I could just drive how I drive when I'm behind, but you can see I'm hitting the apexes and now he's running deep, so there must be something to it. It's maybe not just a me thing, but either way we're going to do the exact same as last lap. Full battery charge, going to go for a move on Casper through 130R. This time we're not as much ahead as we wanted to. We're going to have to leave him a lot more space because he keeps it round, but he doesn't have the pace to keep the position as we move up back into P1. The gap is now around 3 seconds to P3 and P4 because Mafio's gone past Quartz, and obviously Mafio has got a little bit more pace than the Haas, who is now falling behind Whiffle in P5, but we're still a gap of top 3. We're not going to get caught up on track as we run wide when we're behind him, so maybe I just suck at the game, I don't know. Either way, we're going to go for a pretty half-hearted move on Casper. He doesn't really want to fight it, so we end up getting through. We run a bit wide again, but that's just how it's going to be now. The tyre wear isn't great at the minute. It's not horrible, but it's not bad. The box lap should be around lap 10 or 11. And I'm not thinking of boxing right now, and Casper just dives into the box just from around half a second behind us, which I'm pretty surprised with. But we are going to box this lap to cover off from him, and we've got a lot of battery, and we've got around an 8/10 gap to Epic OJ behind. We went a little bit wide to turn 1, not the worst thing, we'd still get a nice exit. But now we've got fully clean air and we have to push, because I know the undercut's going to be pretty big here. The undercut is not... It's not bad, I should say. Same lap, on lap 10. This is going to be the box lap. We managed to pull a 1.1 second gap to OJ behind, which is brilliant. We've done really well there. Casper is in clear air behind us. We're going to move into the box. We brake a bit early. We didn't practice the braking zone properly for the pit lane. But either way, we're going to have a fast stop. We're not going to get held up at all. And if you look at the minimap, the red dot that's coming up behind us, that is Casper. And we have easily cleared him. I'm not sure what his outlap was, but he is lost out to OJ now. His undercut has actually lost him a position. And now we have 1 lap fresher tyres than him. And he's now he's a further 1.5 second gap behind me and the car behind is 1 second away. But right now my tyres are not gripping up. I've got really cold tyres. I'm not very happy with how they're driving, because you can see in the first sector alone we've lost around 3/10 to OJ, and I did want to ideally keep him out of DRS because we had that gap. We had 1.2 seconds, but he's just managed to get to grip with his tyres more. Maybe he's done some race prep, maybe I'm just bad at the game, I'm really not sure. But I've done absolutely no race prep, and the hard tyres are really difficult, and really, they're different on every track, you know. Like, they could be really good on one, they could just not be very fast. We actually run wide, so we're really strong, and then we nearly lose the back end. We did pretty well to catch that, and now that's pretty much cemented the fact that we're not going to break away from DRS. And before we had that little moment, we're actually 9.5 in front. We're actually weaving now to warm up the tyres, and at the end, OJ ended up reporting me for that. He ended up reporting me for warming up the tyres when I was around 8 tenths ahead, and nothing was done in the end. So that was a pretty strange thing. He wasn't very happy, but I'm not sure that it didn't affect him at all. He's still easily there. Behind us now, looking like Casper might go for a move, and he actually doesn't. I am chatting shit, but this is the run. This is the top 3 for the rest of the race. And you'll see on the minimap, or yeah, you won't see it in the top left, just see it in the minimap, that the cars behind are actually catching a lot. There are also people that did an undercut on lap 8 or 9, 2 laps before we did, and the McLaren is leading the train of cars behind us, and we might not just be alone in a three-way fight for the win, because there's like 3 or 4 cars. Avi Tyrrell is now, Craggy now, I should say, is actually in DRS of Casper. Though we are pretty ahead by like a comfortable amount, it's still not good. We're going to move to the outside of OJ now through 130. We're going to pray he leaves us the space. We leave him the space as well, just to be extra safe, and we make that move. Don't have any ERS, and this is an issue that will be prominent. We get our first track limit warning, not too bad. But this will be an issue you'll see for the rest of the race. We don't save enough battery for this main straight. I use way too much. So we're actually going to get double overtaken, but I'm going to try and keep it 3 wide. I'm going to make them uncomfortable, make them work for it. They're going side by side, contact, nearly taking each other out of the race, and I was just still actually going side by side. Casper has a moment. OJ goes back through. And this has invited all the cars behind us into the train again. Not too sure how they've managed to do that. Not sure when they actually box, but it feels like in this race I just blink and there's a whole gaggle of cars behind us. And now even they're getting caught up by the rest of the train. So this train is about to go down to P19, but there is a safety car, and one guy has stayed out. One guy started on the hards and stayed out this long, and now he is going to be leading the race because he has stayed out and got incredibly lucky with the safety car. And I don't even know what happened. I think a Haas just spun behind us, but we are going to box, and OJ actually stays out, which is definitely questionable. It's not a great move from him, but either way, we're all boxing. Tim is the one that stayed out in the kick, so he's gonna box. He's gonna have mediums. We're gonna box. We're also gonna have mediums, and pretty much everyone that's boxed is going to be on fresh mediums. And you can see a couple of people actually stayed out. There are 4 drivers that stayed out. OJ is in P1 on the hard compound, and I believe everyone else is on the mediums that are only maybe 1 or 2 laps old, because they also extended their first stint, and they got pretty lucky as well. So now they're in a good position. They have track position, and you can see we've actually been overtaken as the safety cars in this lap. I was leaving a little bit of a gap because I assumed everyone would be out of AI at this point. But Avi Tyrrell's just sat in AI, and obviously I'm too far behind from the car in front. So his AI's just, done what the game codes it to do and actually overtaken me. And that went really badly for us, because this track is very difficult to overtake, especially if you're in a train. And now we are in a train. We need to make a lot of moves to get back up to P1, because we are in a legitimate P8 now with only 8 laps left to go. We're going to burn all the battery. We want to instantly get by Avi Tyrrell. Going to move to the inside. There's not really space. We're just going to back out because I've had too many issues with that inside curb at turn 1. I've DNF'd 2 or 3 times now in separate league races at Japan, and this is actually the first one it didn't happen to me in. So I'm not going to even risk putting my car on that curb, because it's not went well. I've got some PTSD from it. But P7, not actually sure what happened. We were P8 a second ago, but now we are just in P7, and this is really bad because the top 4 have stayed out. Casper is ahead of us, and now it's a 2-car buffer. Ideally, we would have wanted to stay with him. We're going to move to the inside, try and brake later. He leaves us the space. Going to try and hit around the outside. He gets boxed in a little bit, but we have no battery, but we get the move done. But this is what I mean. We have no battery. We saved so poorly in this race. And now he's just going to get right past by us. And that really annoyed me, because the fact is AI overtook me, and I was actually supposed to be in front of him, and now I'm being held up this much. Casper's moved up to P4, and now there is a hard runner in between us. He actually also stayed out on the hards. But there is Neb Restroom, And there is actually a bit of a gap from P5 to P4. That's going to close up right now, though. We actually run into the back of the McLaren. We did get hit from behind, and we were trying to avoid being completely spun. And again, we have no battery. I don't understand why I would not save enough battery on either that last straight or any of that, because now we're just getting overtaken, and we wanted to go for a move on Avi, but Whiffles now went through. And this win has gotten away from us really quickly. And it's all because of an AI overtaking on the safety car. And I couldn't actually report it because there was nothing in the rules about that. Gonna try and line up an exit now. But again, we've been in the train and we still just have no battery. Like, we've now caught up to OJ, his hard tyres, he was leading at the start of the safety car, which I'm not surprised that he is now last. We're gonna actually move to the inside. I'm getting pretty ballsy with the moves now. But again, we go for a move, and now there's a car on our outside. Focus is just flowing around. And you can hear I'm so annoyed. Because I've just made a move. And I've just lost it so quickly. The Focus has just went through now. He went around the outside in the S's, which is, you know, it's a fair enough move. But I'm just so annoyed. Like, my head is gone at this point. And I don't even know what I'm hoping for at this point. I'm hoping everyone takes each other out. We're now burning battery. We're going to force Focus to go for the move, faking up the inside. He's going to now have to send on the Williams. They make contact. Still a bit of contact. He's forced onto the curb. And they're still banging wheels. And we're going to hope that they actually take each other out this next corner. I really want them to stay side by side as much as they possibly can. Which they do. Bang wheels. But Whiffle backs out. He's being boring. And he's keeping himself in the race. But that also gives us a chance for a move. Right up his gearbox right now. Moving to the inside, and we're burning more battery to get by. And I'm actually not sure what happens on this next lap, but I can't imagine it's going to be me making an overtake, but just simply because I've also got 20% again. I've got no battery for like the 4th or 5th lap in a row. And I don't really understand why I can't just hold the battery. I made a mistake out the final chicane, the main traction zone, for the overtaking, and we actually will hold off Whiffle here. He doesn't have any battery either. And finally, with 20% battery, we managed to hold off a position, which is pretty surprising. I didn't expect that to happen. Lap 25 now. Focus going for a very light dive bomb. He's not barging his way through. He's pushing Avi off, making a lot of contact. He's lucky not to spin there. They're still wheel banging. Focus is not making any friends. This is a great opportunity. We've got like 60% battery at the start of this straight. We've got the overspeed. We're still side by side. Will we be able to get the move done? We are very careful of the inside curb. He doesn't leave us enough space to not get on the curb. And we just still don't have the position. That was probably our best opportunity, because we had so much battery and we still couldn't get the move done, which is so frustrating. And it's basically the story of since the safety car, basically. Focus goes for a massive send. He actually nearly takes out his teammate. He's going sideways. Going to line up the exit. Going to try and do the same as last lap, which we will do. We have a lot of battery. Going to use it again, but we don't have the straight line speed either. And
that's actually wild.
And he's lagging a little bit. Up ahead, Casper's in P3. He's actually not went on. It's actually our teammate Thallow who's leading this race from seemingly nowhere. He qualified really low down on the grid. He's got very fortunate with the safety car, and he's now leading this. So it's going great for VCarb, even though it's not my full-time team. I still want to give the team principal good points because he took a risk on me. Because I've never raced in this league. He didn't know who I was, but he took a risk, and I'd say it could have paid off better. Behind us, Whiffle actually goes off track, but either way. Right now, we're going to try and force a move. Avi Tyrrell's going side by side, make contact. He's actually ghosted. We're lucky not to lose our front wing on Focus there, but we're not able to do anything. We're still just sat here with around 40%, and it's not going to be enough going on to the last straight because there is no ERS, and I can only assume these guys ahead also have a lot of ERS saved up. Maybe P1 doesn't. Maybe there's one guy with nothing, and we actually snap. We have a big snap of oversteer, and now that loses all momentum.
Shit second half of the race, man.
And I'm pretty certain P6 is the final finishing position at this point, because up ahead, unless they start killing each other, we're not getting anything. Focus going for a move on Avi, goes sideways. He's gonna make contact. Actually gonna force him wide. It's gonna give us a great opportunity to just drive around the outside, and we're actually gonna finish P5, which is. Honestly, after that second half, I'm not too mad with the P5, but it just could have been so much more, you know. It could have been so much more.
All because like that McLaren ended up overtaking me under the safety car. Am I able to report that?
You can
Because
hear
I
me
know
saying,
he wasn't in control of his car, but he still paused it, which was his choice, so he's in control of his car.
you can hear me just ranting
Fuck's sake,
because
why
I'm so mad, and I really thought I could win that race. I definitely had the pace. But either way, P5 on track, and we actually ended up finishing P3 after penalties because Focus was doing all the dive bombs. He was committing terrorist acts the entire race, so that's the official position. We're in P3, which I'm actually very happy with. You know, it's fine. P3, P1 and 3 for VCarb. It's not the end of the world. Not my main team, but we rate it anyway. We rate it nonetheless. From P14 to P1 is a big result for him. Very happy. But P3 is actually alright, you know. I don't know who got penalties. I think it was actually Tim and Focus, because Focus got banned from the league, so obviously my position's going to go up. He got disqualified from the race. And Tim, not sure what he did, but either way, he gave us the P3. So podium on our debut for XRS in Division 2. Not complaining at all, but I am, because I could have won. But either way, I'm going to hope to post this league a lot because it is very fun. Japan wasn't one of my best tracks, but either way, we've done well. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like and subscribe for more league racing content, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.